Ah, Marco. What's the matter?
I've just heard a disgusting piece of news.
What?
What are you doing with that?
Oh, just cleaning it for a friend.
Well, you'd better keep me away from it or I'll use it on someone.
On whom? What is the matter?
On Ferrucci.
Ferrucci? You mean General Ferrucci?
Yes, the great General Ferrucci, hero of the Republic, sometimes savior of Florence.
Ah! There's a strange words coming from you, Marco. I've heard you cheer the name of Ferrucci until you're hoarse. What's changed your mind?
He returns to Florence tonight. De Medici has granted him an amnesty. Restoration of all rights and privileges.
Well, that is something.
Yes, Sandro, you're right. It is indeed something. Something for which there's a word. Treachery.
But Marco, maybe de Medici really has granted him an amnesty.
That's impossible. Of all of de Medici's enemies, who is the only man that he had real reason to fear? Ferrucci. Had we been ready to throw out the Medicis, who is the one man we would have turned to lead us?
Ferrucci?
Exactly. And was de Medici likely to make things any easier for us by inviting him back from exile?
I suppose not. Maybe he just decided to live and let live. Well, it is possible.
After what he's done, Ferrucci doesn't deserve to live.
General Ferrucci.
Your Excellency.
General Ferrucci, you are acquainted with Master Machiavelli.
Welcome home, General.
Sir.
This is a proud moment for me, General, and one that I shall not forget.
Nor I. And I cannot let the moment pass without saying how grateful I am to you for your generous action in allowing me to return.
General, I can no longer see any reason why sensible and responsible men cannot bury their differences in the past. I am convinced that we both have nearest our hearts the same wish, the well-being of the people of Florence.
It is to that cause that my sword has always been dedicated.
General, both Florence and I have need of men of goodwill.
Florence can count on me, Your Excellency.
Thank you. Then let us drink to the continued glory of Florence.
My talents are poor, but if they can be of service, you have but to send for them.
I had hoped that you would say that.
And now, with your permission, I will take my leave.
Of course.
An affecting scene. I was quite overcome.
You are too cynical, Machiavelli. What makes you think that I was anything but sincere with Ferrucci?
My experience with heads of state.
Oh. And what does your experience tell you in this matter?
That you are worried about Ferrucci's popularity with the people. That you have granted him an amnesty because you realize that it is easier to keep an eye on an enemy who is close at hand, rather than upon one who is in exile far away.
Your experience places you on the right road, but it does not take you far enough along it.
How far should I go along this road?
To the end.
Then Ferrucci?
Yes, must die.
So Marco is taking it badly.
Yes, he even threatened to kill Ferrucci.
Then he'll be surprised to hear what I have to tell him.
And what might that be, Master Machiavelli?
Ah, Marco, we were just talking about you.
So I gather, and glowingly, I hope.
You remembered my tease. Thank you.
Now, what's the surprise?
I take it that you're not too happy about Ferrucci's return.
Well, are you?
No, I'm not. I don't like to see a good man lose his life. Unnecessarily, I mean.
I don't follow you.
Do you seriously believe that Ferrucci went over to de Medici in exchange for an amnesty?
Well, what other reason would a man like de Medici have? Unless he suddenly decided to embrace his enemies.
With such passion that they stand in danger of being smothered.
You mean that de Medici?
Yes. De Medici allowed Ferrucci to come back to Florence only for one reason. To kill him.
God, what a fool I am.
Well, even I didn't think de Medici would dare a thing like this.
But But we must do something. This must not happen.
Exactly. The thing we must do is to warn him. Obviously, I can't do it. Ferrucci will be watched. I thought perhaps, you?
I'll leave immediately.
Gently, Marco, gently, gently. Leave it until tonight. There's plenty of time. I don't think the Medici has yet decided just how to dispatch Ferrucci.
Get rid of him. No, not that way. Just distract him long enough for me to get inside. I don't want anyone to know we've been here. I am the artist, Marco Del Monte. I wish to see General Ferrucci.
Come in, sir.
General Ferrucci, I am Marco Del Monte.
So my man has told me. And what can I do for you?
I won't waste words, General. I have come to warn you that you are in the gravest danger. Indeed, your life is at stake.
Well, perhaps it would be as well to waste words. Come and sit down and tell me all about it.
I'm not free to disclose the source of my information, but I can assure you that I have it on the highest authority. General, you are regarded by all of us here as the rallying point of Republican sympathy. And it is precisely because of this that de Medici has allowed you to return to Florence, for he plans to assassinate you.
You must know that what you have just said is a monstrous calumny. I don't like it. I don't know who put you up to this, but I hope it wasn't your idea.
General Ferrucci, it doesn't matter whose idea it is. I have come to beg you, for the sake of all those who love you, who look to you for leadership, you must leave Florence immediately.
No longer ago than last night, I was personally welcomed back by His Magnificence. If I had any doubts, they were removed then. And so would yours have been had you been there.
Then you refuse to believe that de Medici intends to kill you?
I do, absolutely.
I see.
I think you are sincere. That is why I cannot be angry with you. I believe you mean to be helpful. My advice to you is to go home and forget all about it.
I apologize for having taken up your time. General, I was wondering, if I should call on you and ask you to sit for your portrait, would you be agreeable?
Are you any good?
I've been privileged to paint many other great men.
Oh, yes, of course. My dear boy, of course, at any time.
Thank you.
You surrender your pawns too readily.
Surely that is what pawns are for. They have the exquisite pleasure of sacrificing themselves to the greater glory of their king and queen.
Speaking of sacrifices, have you decided yet how you're going to get rid of Ferrucci?
Yes. It has always been my experience in these matters that I can do no better than to send for Rollo. And that is what I have done.
Your Excellency?
Come nearer, Rollo.
My lord.
You've heard that General Ferrucci is back in Florence.
I have, my lord.
He is my enemy, a danger to my safety and to the state of Florence. He must be killed.
Naturally, my lord.
You will arrange it.
I will, my lord, but it may take time.
That does not matter. What is important is that there shall be no connection between Ferrucci's forthcoming death and the House of Medici. You understand that?
Have no fear, my lord. I'll see to it.
Very well, you may go now.
Can't I put this thing down? You're modeling the other arm.
Leave it where it is.
Where's Sandra? I want my breakfast.
Why didn't you have some before you came to work?
There wasn't time. Come to think of it, that's a better reason than the one I used to have for not having breakfast before I met you.
What's that?
Well, I had all the time in the world. There wasn't any food.
Don't you miss the old life?
Anybody who tells you that picking pockets is fun is either a liar Or he hasn't had to do it to keep alive. I owe a lot to you, Maestro.
Then see that you repay me by having breakfast in the morning. You only live across the street. What do you do with your time?
Oh, you men. All you have to do is roll out of bed, throw some water over your head, and pull a few faces at yourself in a glass, and you're done for the day. A girl has to... Well, a girl has to... Well, she has to do a lot if she wants to look her best.
All right, then go back to looking your best.
Where's Sandro?
He's gone to fetch Master Niccolo Machiavelli. Ah, good. Here they are.
Oh, good morning, Angelica.
Morning, Master Niccolo. Sandro.
Sandro, take her away.
Come on, Sandro. Food. Food.
Thank you for coming.
Did you see Ferrucci?
It's no good. He won't leave.
What?
He wouldn't believe me. He still insists that he's in no danger.
This is an extraordinary turn of events, I must say.
He was so absolutely sure of himself that he almost convinced me that I was talking nonsense.
It seems that I've underestimated de Medici's powers of persuasion. Or else, I've overestimated Ferrucci's political maturity.
How much time do we have?
I don't know, not much. De Medici has set his pet playmate, Rollo, to find an assassin.
I think that you and I should save Rollo the trouble. After all, if de Medici wants to hire a killer, I don't see why I shouldn't oblige. Do you think you could persuade him to throw his business my way?
I might, Marco. I might.
I can only assure Your Excellency that I have the matter well in hand.
I have the matter well in hand. That tells me but one thing, Rollo, that Ferrucci still lives.
Please believe me, Your Excellency, as I say.
Ferrucci still lives. Am I right or am I wrong?
I beg to remind Your Excellency that I said at the time...
Ferrucci still lives?
Yes.
Ah. Then may I ask just how you plan to terminate the General's remarkable vitality?
Tonight I will receive a report on the prisoners in the jail. I shall pick out the one who's the most experienced at this sort of work and who's desperate enough not to ask any questions.
And what about the people who usually do this kind of thing for us?
General Ferrucci isn't the usual sort of victim, Your Excellency. If I may say so, this has to be handled very carefully.
I expect it to be, Rollo. I expect it to be. Very well, get on with it. Ah, Machiavelli.
Seeing Captain Rollo reminds me of the affair of General Ferrucci. How is it progressing?
It saddens me to report that the esteemed hero of Florence continues to enjoy excellent health.
Sometimes I think you would do well to be in closer touch with the people.
And I think there must be more to that remark than simply an idle observation.
For instance, if you were to stroll through the marketplace as I did just now, you would have heard expressed some quite remarkable sentiments.
Suppose you sit down and enlighten me and thus save me the questionable pleasure of a stroll through the marketplace.
General Ferrucci is not the untarnished hero that you may think.
And what does that mean?
Has anyone ever remarked how fickle the crowd is?
I believe it has been mentioned.
They're saying that Ferrucci has sold his soul to the devil. That is, you, of course. Or else he wouldn't be back here in Florence.
Do you mean that they think I have bought their hero's friendship with an amnesty?
Not all of them, but those who hold that view are quite incensed.
Incensed enough to wish to tear down their idol?
I think so.
But this is magnificent. So perfect. So symmetrical. Dog eats dog. Perfection. The people will direct their anger against one of their own number, and I shall be as sorrowful and as indignant as anyone. Machiavelli, you are a genius.
I do my best.
Now, who will do the job?
I think I have the right man. Your Excellency may recall an artist. I think he's crossed your path once or twice before. Marco Del Monte.
That treacherous Republican.
But I overheard him in one of the artist's bistros. He was most vehement upon the matter. He called Ferrucci a traitor to Florence and said he didn't deserve to live.
Did he? Do you think he will do it?
Leave it to me, Your Excellency.
I must stop that fool, Rollo, before he gets in the way.
Oh, there is one further thing. I have no reason to trust Marco Del Monte. I shall require proof, eyewitness proof of Ferrucci's death.
Oh. Well, in that case, we can arrange for you to have the incident observed by anyone you wish.
And you will give Del Monte no reason to suspect that you act in my behalf?
My lord.
Forgive me. Success.
How's it going, my boy?
I'm nearly ready to start blocking in with the paints. Oh, this is a great honor for me, General. I can't thank you enough for consenting to pose for me.
No need for thanks. If you're as good as they say you are, the honor will be mine.
You see, my lord, just as I told you. A nice, clean, respectable room.
Yeah. I wanted somewhere with a view of the street.
But there's my window.
Ah.
A fine view of the Via Margutta.
Yes, you're right.
You're watching the street for a lady. Is that it?
Yeah, that's right. A lady. And here's for the rent of your room till I see her.
I think she'll be just as well off if you don't find her.
Don't be insolent. Here. And that's for a bottle of wine. So get it now.
Incidentally, whatever happened to that attempt on my life you said was going to be made? Or was that just your clever way of getting in to see me and getting me to pose for you, eh?
My warning still holds. You are in the gravest danger. I hope that you will soon realize it and agree to leave Florence. In fact, if I can count on your cooperation for the next few minutes, I can guarantee to prove it to you.
You artists.
Oh. 2 bottles for the money, eh? Join me.
I don't mind.
Are you ready for the hat yet, Marco?
Oh, yes, Sandro. Now.
And what are you looking at?
Nothing. She won't be down there yet, you know. Why don't you have a drink?
What's it like?
Oh, cheap and strong. Like soldiers.
Oh. So you don't like soldiers, eh?
Well, never mind their manners. I'm so sorry. Look, I'll get you a glass.
Ruin my uniform, it'll stain.
Nonsense, it's all
Oh,
right.
go on, give that to me and get out of here. Go on, get out.
Now he'll be coming across to us. Quickly, General, hide behind the screen. Sandro, give me a hand to get this off.
If this turns out to be some sort of a joke.
Please bear with me a little longer, General, and I know that you'll be convinced. Now, here's your tunic. Now, give me something of yours, a ring.
A ring?
Yes. Good. Now, hide. How are you doing, Sandro?
Hurry up and get the weight. Come on, hurry.
Now for the blood. Where did you put it?
Behind the easel.
I only hope he doesn't smell this is paint. Take it to the river door. All right, Sandro. Wait a minute. Here he comes. Now.
Hold! So you really did it.
Who are you?
The great Ferruccio. Ends as food for fish in the Arno.
He's the captain of de Medici's guard, aren't you?
That's right.
But, you can't prove anything.
Can't I? I saw the whole thing from just across the street. Here, what are you up to? See that? What's this? Ferrucci's crest. I'll take this if you don't mind. It's just what I need to prove to His Excellency that the whole thing's been done.
What about us? Are you going to arrest us?
Well, since you seem to have done Domenici a favor, I'd ask him for a reward if I were you. Here, what about the body? Won't they find it?
We weighted it. They'll have to drag the river to find it.
Leave it to you artists to do the right thing, eh? I'll know where to come the next time I want some work done.
He gloats. He thinks Ferrucci's at the bottom of the river, and he gloats.
Now will you believe that they meant to kill you, General, and that they still mean to kill you if you stay in Florence?
Yes, thank you. I see now what I should have known for a long time. The Medicis have no honor. They don't know the meaning of the word. And to believe otherwise is fatal.
And you'll leave Florence?
At once.
Oh, General, once you're clear of the city, send a message, just in case someone tries to make trouble for me.
Yes. And thank you for saving my life.
Ah, this should be our guests.
Your Magnificence, what is the meaning of this?
You dare to ask me that? You who have just foully murdered one of the most noble citizens of Florence, oh, you will pay for this, Del Monte.
Oh, I assume you must be referring to the General Ferrucci.
Naturally.
Oh, come now, your solicitude for the General is quite touching, but not very believable.
Perhaps you will find it more believable when you are sentenced to death for his murder.
Now, what makes you think that I murdered him?
Every move you made was witnessed.
Well, in that case, Your Magnificence, I can set your mind at rest on the fate of General Ferrucci. He is indeed alive and well.
You drive a dagger into his back. You throw his body into the river, and he is alive and well.
Oh, that little tale that your friend Rollo must have brought to you, you believed it.
Of course I believed Rollo, just as I believed Machiavelli when he told me that you were angry enough with Ferrucci to want to murder him.
In that case, Your Magnificence, I owe you gentlemen an apology for having deceived you both. Especially Machiavelli, the master deceiver of them all.
Oh, you are clever, Del Monte. What a pity that it is too late for me to be able to make better use of you. You have stained the honor of Florence with the blood of its greatest hero, and I shall not rest until you are punished.
Your Magnificence, I can imagine how the General will feel when he hears how the news of his death has been received by you.
Hold your tongue. I've had enough of your impertinence, guards!
Your Magnificence,
What is it?
a courier from General Ferrucci with an urgent message.
General Ferrucci? Impossible.
Your Magnificence, I hope you will forgive me for having left Florence so suddenly for reasons of health. Thank you for your generous hospitality, Ferrucci. Perhaps it would be better to release them, Your Magnificence.
Your Magnificence, we will leave you with Master Machiavelli to share the good tidings without further intrusion.